my name is Sandy Garland. I'm the owner and tutor behind Spot, operating from currently sunny Coquitlam in BC. Today I want to share something with you. I have been working with several families, and the way I work is a little bit different from classical Orton Gillingham tutors who will require several classes in a week. I usually offer one class a week, but you have to review files at home. And I've had some families who tell me, no, that's not working. And sometimes it's reluctance from the child, and sometimes you just don't have the time, or you think you don't. I don't want to presume too much. But last week I was made aware of a story that really made me sad and sort of lit a fire under me. That, if I tell you that your child needs a review, absolutely do it, because you may not have an opportunity to catch their level properly in that system. And the thing is, when you are someone who works in structured literacy or Orton Gillingham, you are fighting with deep forgetfulness. It's so deep and fast and furious that it takes all the tools in the toolbox to be able to achieve something nice for the child, And it's exhausting, and it's boring for some children. What do you mean I have to review that thing again? I know it, which sometimes is overconfidence, but don't let that faze you, because it's really very important. And I'll tell you the story that happened last week. I'm part of a Orton Gillingham group, and I read this account from someone that a child has lost their reading level from grade 6 level down to grade 1. And the time frame was from April last year, 2022, to February 2023. That's fast. But it's not uncommon with neurodiverse children. The summer slide is actually my biggest nightmare. And I know there's been a trend on social media to talk about the summer slide and how it's okay, and how as teachers we are used to dealing with it. It's true. I'm not gonna lie. It's true. Summer slide does happen. But for neurodiverse children, they can lose an entire year. Whereas if you have a neurotypical child, they might lose the last 2 or 3 months that were studied prior to the summer. And it's easy for them to catch it up again. A neurodiverse child, it takes much more work. It's harder, it's deeper, and it's brutal in a way that you cannot fathom. So this child, he's 13 years old. And at that age, what I call the doors of opportunities for his future, they're closing, and they're closing hard. And it will take an extreme amount of energy and efforts to get those doors to open again. And what happens in these situations is that the big people around that child, the adults, they're making decisions for them. And they're making decisions that can really alter the future of the child. Their dreams, they may not be followed. They may not be respected, because we live in a society that relies enormously on reading and writing. But that'll be it. Because what else can you do? And what I find very sad is that it's 2023, y'all. It's a fantastic time to have reading and writing issues with all the beautiful technology we have to support someone. But those are not the solutions that are explored. Sometimes it's the family that goes against it. So be it. If it goes against their values, or the child is not comfortable with it, I get it. But often it's going to be the system that doesn't want it, because money, because it's not comfortable to have a kid who's assisted like that, because sometimes the other families feel like the child is cheating compared to the peers, when we're just trying to even out the play field, guys. That's all we're trying to do. And it's not a fair system to begin with. So if technology can help, let the kid have technology. I would recommend reading the Dyslexia Empowerment book from Ben Foss, an amazing writer, and he read the audiobook himself. He's got severe dyslexia. He cannot read and write. Wait, didn't I just say he wrote the book? Yes, he did. He's an author. He makes it happen through technology. He makes technology work for him so he can read the audiobook to you. And he explains it in the audiobook. It's really interesting to see what could be achieved if you have these things in place. It shouldn't stop someone to not be able to read and write. Not in 2023, but it does. It still does. And there's still 25% of the population that cannot read and write. That is sad, guys. That is sad. We should feel the urgency of making a big change. You know? And in the context of French immersion, what happens to my student when they don't make it by a certain time, by a certain grade? They're told, well, French immersion maybe isn't for you. But look, there's an open door in English. And this is how a minority language becomes even more a minority language. I feel like we can do better. Let me know what you think in the comments.